Okay, OPEC sticking it to us again. Several OPEC members set to tighten global production by 1.16 million barrels a day until the end of the year. They haven't liked the price of oil coming down to below $70 a barrel and kind of floating around at those levels. Well, let me back the truck up a little bit, okay? We pretty much kissed the buttocks of the Saudi. We've been doing this for decades and decades and decades. I want to remind everybody, if you want to go take a look at the majority of the people responsible for the 9/11 attacks. No, they weren't Afghanis. They weren't Iraqis. They weren't Iranians. They were Saudis. Yet we invaded Afghanistan and we invaded Iraq, and now we're in Syria and Somalia and all these other places. Oil. What's it about? Oil. Just that simple. We were on our way to being energy independent, and we decided to pull back from that. The president of the United States decided to go in, Joe Biden decided to go in and deplete the strategic petroleum reserve in order to keep his approval ratings up. You're not supposed to be depleting the strategic petroleum reserve. He used the Russia-Ukraine situation as an excuse. Again, I think that maybe some of these OPEC members are none too happy that we haven't started replenishing the strategic petroleum reserve. That means we'd have to buy more of their oil. Again, we do this to ourselves. We are our own worst enemy here in this country. You know, it was interesting as well, tie this in. Japan, one of our allies. Japan, do you know that they have they have an exemption when it comes to buying Russian oil? You know, they were supposed to cap it at what was like $60 a barrel, something like that. Yeah, Japanese are buying Russian oil at over $70 a barrel. They're exempt. They're exempt. They're special because they need the oil. They don't have any natural resources there, so they don't have much of a choice. Do you see what, just the enormous amount of BS that just constantly flowing all the time by the powers that be? And I was laughing at this as well. I said the Saudis been taking it on the chin as of late in several of their investments. Last week we did a bit on Lucid, which is the car maker here in the United States. Got $4 billion left in cash, and unless they raise more money, it's going under. Not to mention the fact the Saudis were big investors in Credit Suisse. And obviously we know how that turned out. So, hey, they could cut production, raise the price of oil. They can recoup some of their investments. It is what it is. But again, people, until we decide to do the right thing and become energy independent, just basically, all hands on deck when it comes to everything and anything. There was a great article talking about how in Europe, I think it was Poland, and I'm not mistaken, either Germany or maybe the UK. No, it was Poland and the UK. They've approved 30 modular nuclear reactors to be built. These are very, very small little power plants. I mean, they're obviously limited the amount of power that they can put out, but the entire space for these plants is a half an acre. It's a half an acre. Now, again, these probably going to be used to power certain commercial factories and enterprises there, but that's the direction we need to be heading in. There's been talk. We pull this into it too. Is talking about how China is looking to establish relationships with, and they have obviously with Russia. We know that they've been working with India and Pakistan, also South Africa, and looking to obviously deal with other countries to come up with an alternative to the dollar being the reserve world currency. Now, again, the mainstream media and a lot of the pundits out there, they like throwing Russia into this mix and talking about that. But Russia's economy is not that large. It really isn't. The statement that it's, a gas station, it's a country that's basically a gas station. There's a lot of truth to that. But I understand what China is trying to do, trying to offer up an alternative. I mean, we became the world's reserve currency, post World War II, and it's afforded us to do a lot. If you think that we'd be $30-something trillion in debt if we didn't have the world's reserve currency, you're wrong. You're wrong. And again, China is making overtures to the Saudis and many of these places there in the Middle East. In order to fight this, is we need to continue to be strong at home. We need to present ourselves as an alternative. Where people start freaking out about China trying to do this, I'm saying to myself, competition breeds excellence. Why should we shirk away? I mean, all these scare tactics and these economists coming up. Okay, bring it on. Let's go. Let's go. You know what? We're gonna beat you at this. You guys try as you might. We're gonna do what we need to do, and we're gonna be on top of things. Why hide? Why duck competition? But again, this nonsense and just how we're held. I mean, I don't know. Oil was up 8-9% over the some of the trading over the course of the week and some of the prices. I don't know where it is right now. Maybe there's some reaction to this as well in regards to demand coming down, slowing economy. But again, isn't it always better? Isn't it always better to be self-reliant? WatchDog on WallStreet.com.